y'all. I guess it's time to explain the reasoning why I quit my job. So let's hop right into it. So a lot of people are either going to be shocked or are shocked or whatever, because I quit my job. But there was reasoning for why I quit my job, right? So, and this is just not like a fluke, off the whim type of thought. Oh, I gotta quit my job. No, I had been contemplating, planning, thinking everything through, praying, all of that. Been doing that for about a year and a half, right? And I had even in my therapy sessions that I had back in 2024, I believe that was, I had, started really thinking about that while I was on leave for my back, because I have a degenerating disc in my back, and it was causing me a lot of pain, which it affected work and me sitting at a desk typing and doing all of that. So during that time, I really had time to, think and just, start planning out how I wanted to do things. Now, in the interim of, or in between that time, a lot had gone on, transitioning my son from one school to back to the school he was at in a completely, different district. Like, mind you, one school was literally in a whole nother city, roughly about an hour drive away. And that didn't sit well with me. That was uncomfortable, with me putting my child on a school bus, and he having to ride two different school buses to go to school. Now, mind you, a lot of things happened during that time too, with me finding out that, his teacher wasn't licensed, things of that nature. So I was like, you know what? You guys are not being very informative. You should have told me that from jump. They didn't have the tools or anything, to assist my son. And that was a problem for me. So, we had to make the decision to pull him out of that school and bring him back over into, the school he was at. Now, the problem with that was that transition didn't go extremely well and like it should have gone. And they were literally calling me every single day, oh, Jeremy's doing this, oh, he's doing that. So it was just like, at what point do we get to, because now you're calling me off my job pretty much every day to come get him and pick him up from school. So I'm just like, you know what, something's got to give, because I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm tired of, my child being suspended for just nonsense. And first off, you were really not supposed to suspend a child that's, special needs and on an IEP. Like, you're just not supposed to do that. And I know that. I could have, taken that extremely far legally. And I decided, I decided that I was just going to focus on what the next move was going to be. Because I just didn't have the mental capacity to deal with it. Because it was very stressful and very emotional. And, even to this day, like, there's some things that are triggering me. So, anyways, it was just a lot of stress, and I decided not to put more stress on myself, and I know, you know, some people would probably disagree and say, hey, you should have fought that, da 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 da. Well, you know what? You should help me come fight it then. You know, because I just didn't have that energy then. I had a lot going on just with my own personal health, stress on the job, just everything, you know, going on. And I was already overwhelmed. So in October 2024, I decided to go ahead and withdraw my son from school and just homeschool him. At that point in time, I really didn't have a plan for him in that moment. So a lot of that didn't come about until the following year, when I had a little bit more time to, you know, structure out how homeschooling was going to go for him. But nonetheless, let's just fast forward to me quitting my job. So the job was stressful. It was, you know, one of those jobs that it was an easy task, but there were so many other things against you that made it extremely hard to do your job. So that's why I felt like, for me, it was time to make a change. And, you know, just become my own boss and, you know, put my effort forth in my business.